Damn.
Hi everybody and welcome back. I am Megan with Loserly VSG. I had VSG surgery on December 27th, 2018. It was self-pay. I'm 31 years old and I am 5'7", and today marks 42 weeks. I might look a little tired or a little sick because I don't have much on my eyes. So just a heads up, because I've had irritated eyes and so I'm giving them a break. Okay, so 42 weeks down. Last week I was 175 and this morning I was 171. It's weeks like these that really confuse me because I don't want to say I didn't try, because every day I'm consciously making decisions, like healthier decisions. But I didn't do like an egg fast or high protein or try to work out a lot. And I actually didn't work out as much as I do because I had so many fasting labs, which you'll see in just a little bit. And because it's cold outside, so it just didn't get done, and I didn't do it when I got home. Yeah, I don't know. So I actually stepped on the scale like 3 times this morning to make sure it was 171.6, 171.6. And I even took a picture of it, which I'll insert here. My mind is blown. I'm happy, and I was happy at 175, but just whoosh, it came off. So 171 this morning. So my husband asks me every week, like, what did you weigh or how many pounds did you lose? And I truly appreciate it, even though sometimes I'm like, oh gosh, please don't ask me like if I've gained or if I've just stayed the same. Not that it matters to him at all, but just having to like admit that to somebody, which I have to admit it to you guys too, but it's just like in person. So anyways, this morning I just sent him the picture of my scale and he was like, WTF, what did you do? And I was like, I ate a lot of popcorn and didn't walk. And he's just like, what? And it's true. Like, you know that Boom Chicka Pop, I think is what it's called, in the kettle flavor? I thought it was healthier for you, but I don't really know if it is. I don't compare it to other popcorn. But I was at Sam's Club with my dad and I saw this bag like the size of my body. And I was like, I have to have that. So he bought it for me. So I just randomly go to town on it. I don't weigh it out. I don't put it in a bowl. I just set it out sometimes and get some handfuls and just trust that, when I'm satisfied, I'll stop, and I do most of the time. And when other people try to eat it, I'm like, excuse me, what are you doing? There's probably something else that you can have other than my popcorn. But yeah, that's what I told him. Like, I have no idea how this happened, but it did. And sometimes my body does better when I give it a break from working out. So like I constantly walk. I have like a couple days off a week that I don't. So sometimes giving it a break helps me lose weight. And so maybe since I haven't been walking so much, that's what did it. I don't know. So one of my loyal subscribers, her name is Sonia, she had messaged me and was like, I wish I could just pick your brain. And I want everyone to know that you can always pick my brain. I love just sharing information, sharing my story, helping in any way I can, just by, telling my experience. Not telling people what to do at all, because I'm not an expert, I'm not a doctor, but just sharing my thoughts, my routine, stuff like that. And so her question basically was like, what do you do to stay positive and to make good decisions and not let bad habits creep back in? And she also mentioned about, knowing she's not moving as much as she should. I've seen things before where people say, like, on days you don't want to work out, those are days that you really need to do it. Which I've thought about that, and sometimes I live by that. Like, oh, I don't really want to do this, but I need to do it, and that sticks in the back of my head. But most of the time, what works for me is if I don't want to work out, then I don't. And then I don't feel pressured, and I don't let myself feel bad about that. But I know the next day I don't get that decision, which that's my personal preference. So if it's a Tuesday and I know that I should be out there getting my 30 minutes a day and I choose not to do it, I definitely am going to make myself the next day. I truly have learned to enjoy walking outside though. It's a break away from my desk. I get to listen to music or podcast and think about whatever I want to think about that's on my mind. And sometimes I can do it consistently for 30 minutes, like if it's on my lunch break. Sometimes I can just sneak in 15 minutes here, 15 minutes there, but I try to get 30 minutes. And what I keep in mind is like how good it is for my heart to be pumping like that, and that leads to how long I could live. And my whole goal here is to live a long, healthy, happy life. So I just keep those in my mind. But even if I can't get outside because I'm busy or it's cold, I have a pretty large office. So I go stand in the back of it where patients can't see me, and I'm doing squats, or I'm just walking around in a circle back there, or I'm doing certain movements to exercise my core or my legs or my arms, just simple movements, and doing as much as I can just back there. So my body is moving and I'm not just sitting. And then if you have a Fitbit and you have a goal, it is exciting to see, this how many steps I've got, for me anyways. And so that helps me motivate me also. I think all of this in general, for me, I talk a lot about like my why. And my why is, like I said, like living a happy, healthy life, but basically for my daughter, so I can live forever with her. I know it's not going to be forever, and I know we're not going to live together, but she was the whole reason I started this. Like, Megan, wake up, you've got to live a very long time. So I always go back to my why. Now, in reference to like the food part of it, she had mentioned like she knows I don't track, which I don't. I mean, I have in the past, but I've got to the point where like I make these meals and I just throw a bunch of healthy stuff together, and I don't really know how to track when I just put a bunch of stuff together. I'm sure if I sat down and really put effort into it, I could, but it doesn't make me happy to do that. So I, in general, just buy healthy things, and I don't go buy food outside of like my grocery shopping. So I don't go like get fast food often, or really hardly at all. So I just stick to the groceries that I buy. I don't keep junk food in the house. And if I do, there's like a bag of candy from like that we got from parades. I'm not even tempted by that. So I can't give much advice on like if that does tempt you. I'd say don't keep it in the house, or put it somewhere you don't have access to. Like with my scale, I used to have my husband put it away. So maybe you need someone to put it away for you. I don't know. But I don't have food in the house that I'm tempted by. And I'm in such a routine of eating healthy and healthy meals that it's not like a daily occurrence for me to want that. That's in no way saying like I don't have cravings, or like when I go to my parents for the weekend and they do have bad food, I'll eat it. And sometimes I feel bad about it. And sometimes I'll stop and I'll think of my why and my goals and how far I've come, and I can stop. Sometimes I'll do that and it doesn't work, and I'll have some more bad food and then feel bad about it, which I try not to feel bad about it because it's my life and this is a lifestyle and you're going to have mess ups. So just constantly having conversations with myself in my head, I also try to plan like letting myself have bad foods or bad drinks, which it's probably not healthy to even call them that, but you know what I mean. Like if I'm going to be around a Starbucks, I'm going to let myself have a pumpkin spice latte and not feel bad about it. Early in, like I'm 10 months out. So if it would have been right after my surgery, yeah, no way. I was very disciplined for probably the first 6 months where I wouldn't have done that. But I've come a long way, and I should be proud, and I'm working on a lifestyle that makes me happy and I can remain healthy, and that it doesn't get out of control. So I'm going to let myself have a pumpkin spice latte. Or if I know that I'm going to have to take my kids through a drive-thru, I try to make a healthier decision. But even if I did want a hamburger with a bun, it doesn't happen very often. So I'm gonna do it, but I'm only gonna eat one side of the bun. So just always making a smart choice. It's not realistic that for the rest of our lives we're just always going to be on track, always eating good foods, always doing, what we should be doing. There's got to be, at least for me, some balance of some good and some bad, because I do enjoy food. And although I can't eat a lot of it, I do look forward to eating it sometimes. And I also, since I do enjoy food, I like to find food that I can make healthier versions of and that still taste good, but they're not as many carbs or calories. And then I feel really proud when I have done that. So maybe finding foods that you can do that with also. I am just very happy with my lifestyle. I'm very happy with my life in general. I'm a very positive person in general also. And let's see how many times I can say in general. There's a reason that I had surgery. There is a reason that I have had to work this hard to get where I am, and I am so proud. And I never want to sabotage that. So, does it get out of control for a day or maybe a couple of days? Yes. Do I hone it back in by just talking to myself and watching YouTube videos and scrolling through my Instagram and getting, positivity from that and inspiration from that? And, if that doesn't help, maybe just reaching out to somebody, or some people have therapists to really help them, maybe trying that. But I just can't be stopped at this point in my life. I'm not 5 years out, so I don't know, but I am 10 months out, and I'm proud. And I have a why that I focus on, and no amount of food is more important than that why. And so that's how I do what I do. Okay, I made the worst decision in history and decided to schedule labs on my lunch break, and they're fasting labs. So it is 8 o'clock, almost, because I have to be at work at 8 o'clock. So we're on hour 2 of me being awake. Usually by now I would have my breakfast, either yogurt or eggs. And when I got to work, I would be starting on my protein coffee. But my stomach isn't grumbling. It's all head hunger. I'll be fine, but I'll check back in. Alright, so it's 11 o'clock, which means it's been 5 hours since I woke up and I haven't had anything to eat. In about an hour and a half, I'll start heading towards the doctor's office for my appointment at 12:45. And you better believe, as soon as I get out of there, I'm getting something to eat. I don't even know. I think it's written down as a physical. So I haven't had a physical since I was in junior high. So I don't know what that consists of. So we shall see. I would have finished my protein coffee by now and had my morning snack and been out walking, but when I was reading about fasting labs, it also said don't exercise. So I've been drinking water and I tried some black coffee. It was awful. Okay, it's 12:30. I'm on the way to the doctor to get my physical and labs. My wonderful husband brought me lunch that I can eat on the way back from the appointment. I am ready for this. And I'm doing good. I haven't really felt hunger except in the past half hour, and noon is when I usually eat lunch. So it really hasn't been as bad as I thought, but I've been pretty occupied with the work they've been giving me this morning, so that has definitely helped. I can't even make this up. I did not get my labs once again. I fasted for 12 hours again for no labs. I got there, I did the physical part of the physical, where they're height, weight, all that stuff. And then she's like, well, I'll go look at your lab orders. And she did, and then she's like, oh, none of these can be ordered with just your wellness physical. I'm like, why did I come here? Why did the receptionist not say any of this to me? Why did I fast another time and not get labs? So I am still no closer to having any info on what my lab results are, because they haven't been done. With the place I work, They do have like where insurance pays so much and I pay so much, like a big percentage, and then I get a percentage off because I'm an employee. I think that's how it all works, but your deductible has to be met. But my insurance just started October 1st, so I haven't met my deductible. So I think it's like a $500 deductible, and like I said, the other hospital told me it was $1,300, but I had a lady from the billing department look over the labs and give me an estimate. But if I have to pay the $500, they can do it, out of my paycheck every other week or whatever I need to do. But that's what I'm waiting on now. So I went and got a wellness check for no reason.